absolutely horrible.
Hey, we're talking about
Clearing.
Well,
yeah.
we're talking
And
about
my
her hair.
My hair. You see, I feel, because I always do the phone this way, but when we do Free Spirits Talks, we go this way, but then every morning I've got the phone flipped the other way. And so now I'm like,
Now we're too short there.
all right, yeah, we're right. Technical difficulties.
Which is part of our conversation for the day. Because somebody has been having technical difficulties. I've had some technical difficulties too, but you have had actual technical difficulties more.
I have had technical difficulties. Major technical difficulties. To the point that I've been without internet for going on 3 weeks. Not because I didn't pay my internet bill.
I would just like
not
die.
because
I couldn't do it.
I'm in an area that doesn't have internet. Not because my credit's not good enough to get internet. No. Not because I didn't call the internet provider and sign up for the internet and book the appointment and do all that needed to be done to get the new internet. No, none of that. Just because my spirit is going, you need to be disconnected right now, and you are challenging yourself. See what you're made of to do it without internet. Yes. So challenges. Clearing. That's really what.
Yes.
Clearing is a challenging process.
It is. It is. And so I actually named it Cleansing, Clearing, and Opening. I added an opening on her that she didn't know.
I was cleansing. I had to go pee.
Yeah.
Or that was clearing. Cleansing. Whatever.
Clearing. That's more with clearing. Anyway, today, because we both realized we were talking, and recently we've tried to be doing these, coming up with the topic more in the moment, because it's more aligned, it fits, and we feel like we can come at it from just a more truthful place instead of more of a logical place. And we both have been having a lot of clearing in our lives and cleansing.
And opening.
And so we thought we'd pop in. And I mean, I've noticed over the last probably 2 or 3 weeks, just different areas of me cleansing and really clearing things out. And it actually all started with me clearing, or really going into like deep cleanse of my apartment. Like,
well, you did.
I did. I did a deep clean of my apartment, and then I did a deep clean of my car, and I went, shut up. And then I went, and then I obviously my spirit went, oh, you want to clear? No, do you really want to clear? And so I broke a phone that I'd only had for a year, and I've never broken a phone in all my years of owning a phone since I was an older teenager. I've never broken a phone before, and I literally just nicked this little sucker.
Wasn't even a bad nick.
And the phone went dead. Phone went completely dead. Well, that phone, actually, I got it at a very interesting time in my life, and that was a clearing of all the energy that had gone into that phone, all the text messages, all the situations, I had lots of stuff, we'll just say lots of stuff on that phone, and it was my spirit going, no, we're gonna get rid of this phone for you. And then there's just been lots of different things, and like yesterday all of a sudden I got sick, and it was a full body cleanse. I want to say a full body cleanse. It was not pretty at all. And I went, yeah, I probably ate something bad. That's what my logical brain says. Like, yes, I ate something bad. And then my spirit goes, well, you also were doing a full, like your body was cleansing. Because I don't do body cleanses. Like, that's not a thing for me. I don't like go in specifically and like do, because of some of my history and things I've gone through in my life, I don't go, oh, I'm going to do like this new cleanse, that new cleanse on the market diet-wise. And I knew I had been holding energy, and I think my spirit just went, whoosh.
And we're done.
And so,
it was actually the last, I mean, outside of like, I would say there might be an emotional cleanse still maybe coming. I'm going to be the bearer of bad news. Emotional cleanse that might come after this. But all of it is a spiritual cleanse, because look
Yes.
at what you did. You went through house, you went through car, you went through communication, and then
my
you went
computer
into the,
I was like, I'm going to do this shit on the computer before my computer breaks.
Yeah.
Don't need that.
And then there's business cleansing happening in that. There's relationship cleansing happening in that, and then the final one is the physical body, because where are you holding all of this cleansing is also being held still in the body. And this is really stressful to me all of a sudden, because I'm in the middle of cleansing and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get sick. Like, I'm blaming you.
No, no. If she gets sick, it's not my fault. I am.
If I get this nasty flu bug in like a month from now, and you're like, really?
Just not in
This is
California.
your
Not in
fault.
California, because I'll be like, they're there.
You got really sick in Mexico,
I did.
which was the
And
start
you
of
slept
your-
right through it.
I'm a good friend.
I'll just be like, they're there. They're there, Kendall. Please don't throw up. I'll have like a big stick and be like, they're there.
No. I'm gonna just circumvent that and go a different direction.
Cleanse in a different way.
Maybe I'll just
Go do a body cleanse. Like,
Yeah.
there you go. Go
I
do a
am
body
running
cleanse.
to the juice company right now, and I'm gonna do an intensive 3-day.
Okay, you do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. No, but the cleansing process and a lot of the stuff. I have mail. I wasn't even getting mail the last week. Did I tell you this? Like to almost actually 10
That's
days
a cleanse.
of not getting mail, and I don't really ever get a lot of mail because everything's set up on automatic for me, so I don't ever think about the mail until I wasn't getting mail, and then all of a sudden I started thinking about the mail.
Communications.
It's communications. It's receiving.
Mhm.
It's actually a
State of
receiving
receiving.
and state of receiving, state of communication, state of all that. And my phone is acting up, and it's constantly. So I get the message. My cold cleansing is around being too full and being at like maximum capacity, and that I think is there's with your clearing. I see there's like all the stuff of that old baggage, old ways,
stuff, yeah.
old programs, all this different stuff, and it's just like it's become toxic, and now it is leaving,
Literally,
It's
in
leaving.
multiple ways.
Right. So there's that
Yours
kind of
is
clearing.
not,
Mine's not in that toxicity level yet. It is in this massive of there's so much pressure because of a state of being so full to the point of not being able to have the clarity, to have the focus, which it causes fatigue, which causes that stress. Although I keep looking because I break out in hives, so I've discovered from severe stress, and I have I've had like 2 little hives pop up, and when I'm thinking about certain things, which is interesting, what those thoughts, I'm trying to pay attention, like what was I thinking when this came up, because that's causing stress. I'm paying attention to the physical body in that way, but I have not had any but I think we did like a couple conscious
Yeah, you
copies
were, like,
where I was
crazy.
completely breaking out in the midst of my custody battles, and I was so stressed. And I've had a lot of stress in my life, but I've never, I guess, been impacted by stress at that level for me to actually break out, because I don't get hives. That was
Now you
my
do.
first run in with hives. And now I'm going, oh wow, like, okay, do I have hives? All right, I'm not that stressed out. This is my way. This is how
Let's not go there, though.
This is
to
how
that
I
level of
figure
stress.
things out. I'm like, am I? Oop, what am I stressing about? Oh, I have a little itch. Is that a good itch or a bad itch? I do.
Good
I was
itch
like,
or
that's-
bad itch?
Seriously, I was on a date and I started
Interesting
having-
question.
I was on a
You're on a
date.
date and you were like, is this a good itch or a
And
bad?
my right hand started to itch, and my date says, oh, that's at least the hand of abundance, like that's, money coming in. And my thought was, is it? Or am I just stressed out about you? I'm stressed out about you right now. Like, I'm going to go with the abundance because I like the sound of that better, but I actually think I'm just stressed out about the overwhelm.
Mm-hmm.
And it is like that clearing of overwhelm. So creating space. Either way you look at clearing, it's all about creating space.
Mm-hmm. For you to open.
Yes. Because if we don't create space, and I hate to pull old people into my existence right now, but this is a really great story, so I'm stealing it. And maybe it'll help heal some of my hive issues.
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
Hive Man. It's Hive Man.
It's Hive Man. So yeah, so my
New
ex
name.
tells this story. Hive Man. My ex tells this story about when he was wanting to pull a relationship into his life, and he had been a bachelor for about 8 years, and then he said, okay, I've done this work, I've done that, like I'm done just getting connection here and there. I actually want to have a relationship. But then he looked around his house, and here he is, a bachelor with 2 dogs, living in a 4-bedroom, like 2,500 square foot home, and all the closets were full, and he had bedrooms set up, but the dressers were full, and his closet was full, and all, like there was just like no space. So there was no space to even have a relationship come into his life. He had filled up his space to the point that there was no room for a relationship. And he started looking at that, and he went, well, crap, like if I want to call somebody in, I actually need to create space for this person. How do I go about doing this? So he took the physical action of clearing out the space, and cleared out the space of, all right, I'm going to go through all the closets, and I'm going to look at what is in here that I actually need, and what is in here that's just taking up space. And what he got was everything got organized and cleaned out, and he got rid of a ton of stuff. And he went into his main closet, and he looked at the master closet, and he got rid of all the stuff, and he cleared out a whole bunch of, closet space so that clothes could be hung up there, and it was just very vacant. It really was.
He probably
really vacant.
cleared out too much space, because then he got you with 5 children.
He did.
He probably should have left some of that.
That's what you get for clearing out the spare bedroom space. So, and he cleared out like half his dresser, and he cleared out the nightstand on one side of the bed. So the one nightstand was empty. One nightstand had his stuff in it. Half the dresser had his stuff in it. The other half was vacant, or just had like some spare, scare stuff in there. Just not much of anything. And so he had created that space. And so his story goes, I wasn't there at that time to say that this is true or not, but how his story goes is that basically 90 days later, he met me. And yeah, here's a woman with lots of stuff, including 5 kids, that comes into the picture, and we end up getting together and moving in together. That story, though, I think is just really, really powerful, because there is that, like, where are you at in your life? What are you wanting to call in? And you have to create the space for it. Like I've made the proclamation that I really want to be single for 3 years. So I actually keep the story in my mind, and
it's only in her mind.
I'm single-ish. I said that this morning on Conscious Coffee.
You did. I give you your props for ish.
So I got a coffee cup that says single,
she
married.
Doesn't know what single is.
Single, married, building your empire. Yeah, building my empire. And I was like, yeah, I'm single-ish. I'm single-ish. Yeah, ish. Ish is a thing.
Ish is a thing.
Ish is a thing. And I know I don't know what single is. I will never know what single is.
No, you won't.
And that's because that is a severe program that's running of like, well, there's lots of guys out there. Like, how can you be single?
Yes.
Single-ish. But in that, part of the things that I've actually kind of adapted, and I feel myself adapting consciously, is that I go, no, I really do want to be single-ish.
Yeah.
I don't want this direct space for a significant other right now in my life.
Yeah.
So I'm making a conscious choice around that.
So
what am I doing? I'm taking space.
Cleansing.
I am taking space and like, okay, no, I don't need this, I don't need that, boom, 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 boom. But at the same time, I'm filling up certain areas that would be space openings for what I don't want. So I'm like, no, actually, I don't want that space open. I'm going to shut that space and keep this like this. But oh, look, somebody's calling. No, you haven't.
You lie. You lie to us.
Don't tell me that. All right, you know what? Maybe it worked. Okay, so all right, go. But to create that space in other areas. And you, on the other hand, you're like clearing out the car, and I know that you found stuff in your car that you did not even know was in there.
I found stuff in my car that I know. I cleaned my car out, and I went in and I was like, guess we're clearing this today because I cleaned my car out and I never found this stuff. And it was random, but it was like heart jamming kind of random stuff that I went, why is this in my car?
Because you need to clear
Why is
it
this?
out.
No, but and that was the
So
message.
you can move forward.
It was like,
That's why it's in your car. Oh, I should have told you that before, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that was words of wisdom that I didn't have back then. Works. Heart space.
yes.
It goes
Don't
with
get
the previous-
mentoring and then do a online video with your mentor.
That was good. That was good. We just had this conversation about heart space and clearing heart space and opening up the heart. And I just realized that that's exactly why you had that appear to you.
Uh-huh.
And now everybody knows.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody knows. Yes. So.
Vulnerable and free spiritual.
I interrupted you, sorry.
Throwing people under the bus. No, but yeah, like I did have this like clearing, like there is this clearing and it is an opening of space because even if it's just an energetic, and not even energetic, even if it's just an emotional kind of like the space in your head it's keeping up, you're filling that up and it is that letting it go so new can come in. However, in that, you have to watch what you're bringing in too because you don't want to just fill to fill.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fill with things that are a turn on. So like I cleared out some relationship stuff. Well, I don't want to just take any relationship on to go, oh, well this is a filler. Well, no, I don't necessarily want a filler. I want
What you want.
what I want. And I'm going to get what I want.
There you go.
So watching out also while as you go through like this cleansing process, whatever kind of cleanse it is, whether it is the more like you're just so incredibly full, or it is like more like the emotional, it all comes back to the spiritual and our lives, whatever kind of cleanse it is and clearing it is that needs to take place, making sure that you're also cautious of like what you're opening to, and if you want to open certain doors. If you don't want to open a certain door, then don't open that door. Don't go clear that shit. So if I don't want,
I had a great big clear space in my closet, and
she filled it up.
unconsciously I decided while I was clearing out other stuff, which I didn't know I was off to go do, I was actually just trying to organize my house the other day. And it was just one of those, so I have a puppy, as some of you might know. I have this puppy, and the puppy needs to be kennel trained because I'm done with everything else. So I'm like, nope, I'm putting my foot down with my daughter, and puppy's getting kennel trained. So I decided to move the kennel from her bedroom downstairs to the laundry room, except in the laundry room I had all my scrapbook stuff. So and it's all organized, but it's just like stacked there in these great big plastic things that are drawers and everything. And on top of it was some pictures, is what I thought it was, just pictures, old albums and different stuff like that. So on the day before an anniversary of a 1-year heartbreak, I decided that this is what I'm going to do. And you know, the last thing from on my mind was actually dealing with anything on a heartbreak note. More heart stuff, right? Heart, because our hearts control pretty much everything.
Our
and
passion,
it's everything.
Our whole
Everything
lives
gets
are
controlled.
controlled by here.
And when we're shut down here, it is so hard to open up and feel what we want in our lives, what we don't want in our lives, having passion, having direction, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so there I was in this box that I had thought that was lost. Comes down and basically almost hits me. Like I barely avoid it because it's falling off of me, and I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, what the heck is it? And I start laughing because I saw what it was. I was just like, I just made a comment just the other day about like this box, and going, I think it got thrown away or donated, and oh my, that might be an embarrassing box for donation. Glad that I wasn't the one that did the donation run. Oops. So this box falls down, and I looked at it, and I had not opened it for a year, and it was all taped up and everything. It was very, very safely taken care of. And there I am like, well, since I just got almost hit in the head with this thing, obviously I'm supposed to deal with this right now. About exactly 1 year later, right? So I go ahead and I cut it open, and it's just got, it's got in it what I figured it had in it, but to go on top of it was a note, a very nice note that just went, and a whole bunch of pictures and videos and different things like that, and that stuff. And I was just like, oh wow, like here I am, that now I get to deal with that. And then ended up resulting from that, funny enough, here I am, heartbreak, right? I'm now dealing with heartbreak. So my next move is to take all the stuff that I'm moving from here and put it where? Into my master closet, where I had this big, massive space, a wall of empty room. A wall of empty room.
An opening for somebody to move their stuff into.
Yeah. And I said, fuck that shit. Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. We just can't use this for promotion. This video can't be used for promotion. It's fine.
Okay. Oops. I said, oops.
Please.
That's just a cuss on Free Spirit Talks. That's like,
It
that's a
happens.
coffee
It
moment.
happens.
Anyways, that's really what I did say. That's really what I did say. I was just like, no, that this is not happening. And I shoved everything into it. It's like, it's organized. If you walk in there, it's organized. There is one box that I still have to deal with, but it's like I got to go through it. And I think most of it's getting thrown away. That I have to go through it sitting in the middle of my closet. But I organized everything in there. And so it's all put up now. And the space that I had has decreased down to not a whole lot of space. There's just a little bit of space for like exactly the kind of connection that I'm open to right now.
Moment.
Like, yeah, I'm like, this is where I'm at, and that's okay to be in that space. Just like it's okay to be like wide open and kind of like not knowing and feeling like where am I? Mm-hmm. There's also okay to say, this is not what I'm wanting. This is what I'm wanting.
Yeah, and I think it also is on top of all that, allowing the clearing. If you want the clearing, like, it's not going to be comfortable. I can tell you, yesterday when I was doing a full-on body cleanse, it was not comfortable in the least, nor was looking through the papers that I found in my car, nor was, having to go a couple days, not even close to what you're experiencing with your technical issues, but a couple days without my cell phone. I was like I'm going through a clearing, going through a detox process.
Yeah.
Not that I am like attached, but it's that safety net of like I can pop on Facebook if I need. Mm-hmm. I can answer a text message, but that was not comfortable. So cleansing is not necessarily meant to be super comfortable, but it is leaning into it. And the more we fight against it, actually, the more our spirits will.
That resistance there.
We get into that resistance place, and what ends up happening is the clearing actually just gets worse, feels worse, or we just don't get it cleared, and then we end up taking all this stored stuff that we didn't get cleared back from the last 2 or 3 clearings, and we've stored it all up, and then we have just a bigger pile of stuff to clear and cleanse, and so you're not saving yourself any discomfort by not allowing it.
You cannot avoid the clearing. You can offset it a little bit, but that does typically make things worse. Leaning in is actually the best offset to just go, okay, we're clearing and to look at things from a spiritual perspective of like, what is this? What was the question that I gave you? It was like I worded it well. I don't know how it was about like if this was a training exercise.
If your life right now was a training exercise, well, it was something about like what would the message be?
What would the lesson?
What the lesson and the message be?
What would the lesson and the message be? And that's how I think that when you're looking at like, I know that when you were sick yesterday, right? Yeah, you're sick. You're still working on different things. You're dealing with all this different stuff. But
I was looking at it as like, wow, I'm releasing a lot of stuff too. Not feeling great about this release, but I'm releasing something needed to be released in my physical body.
Mm-hmm. And just like every time my phone says, you don't have enough space. You don't have this. Clear off more. And I'm like, I have cleared off I have taken apps off. I have cleared off my text messages. I had all these conversations. I'm going to keep going through. And it's funny because I have a feeling that once I clear this one thread, my phone might work, but I'm not clearing the thread.
You're not going to clear the thread.
I'm not going to clear the thread. I'm just not going to do it. Matter of fact, I'm going to go buy a new phone and
just
transfer it over just because there's stuff in here that I actually want to keep because there's some things that I really actually need off of that thread. Like, but I'm not ready to deal with the thread either. So I don't want to deal with the thread, but I am getting down to where I don't have that many conversations left on my text thread, but my phone keeps saying you have no space to receive text messages.
Did you clear out your cookies? Oh, it's just text anyway.
And, oh, look!
And Facebook keeps telling us that we...
And yeah, so like my apps keep telling me that they've stopped. I'll take pictures and I'll take one picture and I'll say delete pictures. And then I'll go in and I'll delete like 50 pictures. And then I'll take one picture and I'll say, you have no space. And it's,
Oh, wow.
I'm going, you'll see the little space thing and I'll go in and I'll say, like anything that you haven't used for 6 months, anything, and I go in and it clears and you see it like open up this great big gap.
Somebody needs to clear some space for herself in her life.
Can I flip her off from Facebook? So, and that is like, and the same thing is happening on my computer. So I'll go in and I'll clear off all the stuff on my computer and I clear off this. I do all this different stuff and it goes, and it's alerting me that you don't have enough memory. You don't have enough space. I'm like, man, like I've gotten this. I've had all this stuff going on.
And I think that, yeah, it is very interesting. And I think we could go on and on, honestly, about like stories. Because even in like past, I've had I think it really is, like, we could tell you guys, go clear, go cleanse. It is looking at your life and seeing for you where you need to clean, where you need to cleanse, where things aren't working for you, and where things just keep stopping, things are like...
all right, it's good.
Yeah, that's
keep doing that.
It's
yeah, I'm going to just hit the phone here. We'll just keep talking.
Just let it go.
Because if I hit close app, there we go.
But when... in your life where you really need to clear and cleanse. And it is a getting real with yourself. Getting real with self. And also listening, because like your messages will tell you where you're needing to clear and where you need to cleanse. Like your spirit will know, like, okay, we really need to clear over here. We need to clear over here. But usually those places we don't want to lean into. But that is really where you're going to need to do your clearing. And so... we share all this because we do our clearing all the time. Sometimes we want to, sometimes we don't want to. Yeah. But it's something that we all have to do, all go through. And it is opening us up to new. If we choose and we fight and resist so much against our clearing, what ends up happening is sometimes we still clear, but then we miss these beautiful openings because we're so stuck in the, can you believe my phone broke? Or can you believe I just spent the last day sick? Like, blah, blah, blah. We get into our ego mind instead of just going, okay, what am I supposed to learn? Where do I need to create space? Where do I need to open? Where do I need to fill in a different way, potentially? So,
yeah. And that's truly what it's, if you look at it from, I think you can prevent a lot of the uncomfortable clearing by just feeling. And this is not emotionally feeling. This is like feeling in your body. So the sensation of your body of, this, if you're walking into your closet, for example, there's so much memory in our closets. So much memory. And we were just talking about this about clothes. Yeah. And that's exactly... and then my daughter calls. I'll decline her and of course the app wants to just hold on a couple of these and it'll go away. Isn't that fun? All right, I'm gonna figure out my phone. I will. But no, there's so much memory in our closets, for example, that if you just walk into your closet or open up your dresser and you look at the different things and you just pull out garment after garment after garment, and if you start to just feel in your body. Does this garment, like, do I like this garment, or is there something that kind of goes, ugh? Because... or
that garment I wore to that event, that thing.
That we had this humongous fight in, that this, that this happened in, that happened in, blah, blah, blah. And yet we keep it, and every time we walk by it and see it, every time we touch it, it does trigger subconsciously this memory that is still there. And that right there is like, that's what you need to clear out. If you don't want to have those constant little subconscious triggers happening to bad things, then dispose of those things ahead of time before all of a sudden, things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And recognizing, like, even in, like, your mental state, like, okay, like, if you find yourself in a lot of negative thoughts, or you're finding your body really fatigued and really struggle, like, doing the preemptive work, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I do have a horror story to tell you, and then we'll probably up on time. Yes, this is actually because it just came in, so I must need to share this. Because this is like, if you don't pay attention to little clearings.
I know.
If you don't pay attention to the little clearings, if you don't pay attention to all those kinds of things, how drastic can it actually get? What are some of the things that you realize there's no way that much bad stuff can happen to one or two people in that short of period of time? The chances are like 1 in a billion.
We're not playing the chances here. We're playing spirit.
But when you really, really tap in, like, this is spiritual stuff going on. This is like, you're really out of alignment. You really are not paying attention. You're just going, no, I'm just not paying attention. Here's a horror story to just kind of give you like,
in a happy way.
So, a few years back, I knew a woman, and this woman had a friend, and this friend was not paying attention to her stuff. And she was not dealing with her relationship stuff, and she was not dealing with her alignment issues of like being happy in her life, just really saying what she wanted and what she needed in her life. So this woman is at my friend's house, and she's doing some work there, and they're talking and everything, right? And everything's going on. It's a stormy night. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just a stormy night. And she's helping the woman do decorative stuff around the house. And they're like, because my friend's husband was gone, and so she wanted to surprise him to a completely renovated bedroom. She was trying to make it all sexy and everything. So she had freshened up the linens and the paint and put new paintings and like really, really pretty. So she had done all of that. And she was having her friend who that's her skill set come over and help. So they were up late. Well, my friend goes to an event, leaves her girlfriend there to go ahead and finish up the details. And it starts storming outside. And something, she was just like, okay, well, just one more thing that I got to finish, and then I'm going to leave before it gets too crazy outside. One more thing, and then I'm going to leave. One more thing, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. And it kept her there and for a long enough period of time. What she did not know that was taking place back at her house was that the lightning had struck her home. I've told you the story, right? The lightning has struck her home, and her house burnt down. Her house burnt down. Now, if she had gotten there and left at the time frame that she was originally supposed to leave and go home, she would no longer exist on this planet. Her husband happened to be away at a poker game or something, and he was not home during that time either. The house went down. They did lose their animals. They lost everything in their house. Talk about clearing. Like, that's some clearing.
I did not do that type of clearing.
That's
just making that clear.
Okay? So they lost everything from their entire relationship, which was a long relationship. They had, these are people in their 50s. They've been married a long time, raised kids, everything. They lost their household pets that passed away in that fire and everything. It just went, okay? Came down the chimney and boom, house gone. Like that. Did not touch any of the property around them. Just took out their house. So, all right, well, it gets better. So they were like, oh, right, the house burns down. Well, you got insurance, all the stuff goes on. Well, they're still not getting the lesson of like, all right, you just had massive clearing going on, right?
Yeah.
So what happens? What happens?
1
week to the date of the house burning down, this woman drops with a heart attack. She drops with a heart attack.
It's not funny.
It's not. It's not funny at all. It's really not funny. But what's really not funny is that she still didn't get the message. She still didn't get the message. And her husband ended up getting sick the following week. But it was one of these things that I watched the two of through my friend's eyes and the stories that I was getting told. And I kept telling my friend, I was like, man, you really need to have a conversation with her around, like, what are you avoiding? Yeah. What are you not wanting to deal with? Where are you really, like, you're really wanting to get rid of stuff. You're really wanting to access stuff. Like, this is like a whole new tipping point into life. And yeah, we've burnt down, the family home has been burnt down. And now you have suffered a heart attack. So this is like seriously dealing with your heart. So there is stuff here that you're not wanting to deal with. I mean, you could say, well, she was stressed out from the house and she was stressed out from this and da-da-da.
We always have logical excuses for things.
Right. But when you look at the house, which is family, home, relationship, a life that is built together, and all this different stuff, and then boom, heart attack 1 week to the date later.
There's something there.
There's something going on. And then for him to then suffer, not to that extreme level, but at the same, but still dealing with stuff. There's a 1, 2, 3 of extremes. And my whole point in that was like, man, she needs to figure this out like ASAP, because the next baseball bat is like if having your house hit by lightning and then having a heart attack are not strong enough baseball bats for you. I'm really scared as to what that final baseball bat might be, because the thing with clearing, and you might have noticed you were talking about, started with you physically clearing, right?
And then
clearing. So you got house, car, body, right? What am I talking about? I'm talking about my phone, my internet, my computer, my house space, all this different stuff going on. We're talking about basically in 3 significant key points that are coming in at every given time. And there's a whole bunch of little stuff that circles around that. Yeah. But there are 3 key things every single time. It's just, where are you going to go with that? Are you going to get it on the first one? Probably not, because that's just the way we are. But you can get it on the second round. And if you get it on the second round, typically you won't be forced into the uncomfortableness of the third round.
And I also think sometimes we experience clearing also when we're ready to kind of almost transform up to as well. I think there is that level of clearing as well, because
the only way you're going to really increase your vibration, frequency, is you've got to clear. You've got to get rid of the excess weight of the old you to be able to level up to that next level as well. Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. Go clear before it gets serious, because we don't want you clearing at a serious point. We want you clearing when you can just go and clean your car out, or when you can just like go throw some clothes away, like not at the serious point of like when you're in the hospital with a heart because you just had a heart attack. Like,
that's not good clearing.
That's not good clearing.
Yeah. Get the lesson before it gets too serious.
Yes. So get the lesson before it gets to you.
Yeah, because it will. It kind of like just slowly streamlines it.
So, but thank you for hanging in there with us. I know we are both going to Santa Cruz in like 2 weeks, and so you can find all that on our site, our individual sites. I have a workshop going on this Wednesday for any women who are interested, or men who have women who might be interested. So you can check that out on www.edisonbell.net under my programs. It's the Instant O Woman. So
I don't have anything going on, really.
But
except for, I've got Max the Ancient Crystal Skull coming in this next weekend. But I don't ever really feel like that's an event.
Well, Santa Cruz was the
that's an us.
Yeah, it's not us.
But like you have something like
I have something.
So, and I don't have anything.
You just finished your Joe.
I just finished the guide course. But yeah, I don't really have anything that I'm launching in that aspect. I have other things that I'm launching, but I'm not quite ready to launch. So I'm just, that gets launched.
Yeah, that business thing you're gonna launch.
Yeah, I'm launching a new business. But yeah, so outside of that, the only other thing that I have is local people.
Aware of that. Keep that in your mind. Like, be like, let's keep an eye out on Kindle. See what's going on.
Oh, it'll be everywhere. When I launch, it'll just go. There you go. It's going. It's going big. It's going out. Yeah, I'll be blabbing.
Go big or go home.
Yeah. You're like, hey, did I mention? Yeah. I'll do a whole conscious coffee on it.
Awesome.
Be like training, local training, online training. Actually, yeah, that's coming.
Well, on that note, then we'll just go do some clearing at Max this coming weekend.
Yeah, that's always a clearing.
That is always a clearing.
It's a clearing.
So,
if you are local in the Dallas area, or can get your butt to the Dallas area Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, Crystal Kaya Paul and myself, we are co-hosting Max the Ancient Crystal Skull, and that is, I'm going to let you do your own research on that because I don't have enough time for this to do that here, but you can go to to my website, to Crystal's website. You can just Google it. You can Google it here on Facebook as well, because we have the events already hooked up here on Facebook, so that you can actually click on that, learn about it. And that is just a beautiful meditation times to really amplify your energy, to increase everything going on, be able to tap in, change your vibrations. Max is known for healing work and all this different stuff. So that's just a beautiful experience. We're also doing a sleepover this year. So that's just going to be a VIP, very, very small group. And we're excited because we've never done a sleepover before. So this year is a very special year, which is nice because it's our 7th year hosting. So we're getting to do what we've been wanting to do on our 7th year hosting. And there's something about the number 7, right? It's just, 7's good. So yeah, so we're doing a sleepover. So it'll be at my house. So if you are local, if you want to partake in that, you can just put Max or Amplify, what do we title it?
You can just put Max Crystal Skull in the little search box on Facebook and it'll pop up.
It pops up. So, yeah. Other than that, I feel good.
I feel good too.
Okay.
We feel clear.
Yeah. So, you can follow me at www.kendallwilliams.com.
AddisonBell.net.
And we will be back in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So we're going to be doing our next Free Spirit Talks from California. We're going to be doing it in Santa Cruz. So we're not putting a time to it because the entire topic is going to be on letting go of time.
Free flow.
Free flow.
Free flow.
So we'll be doing it. I'll let you know if it's going to be Friday or Saturday morning.
Oh, that's right. And we're not doing it on a Monday or Tuesday. We're doing it on Friday.
Yeah, so it'll be at a different time, but check us out, and I will post that in the feed. And so if you don't follow Free Spirit Talks, go ahead over and follow us so you can keep informed of what's going on.
Yep. And if you're catching this on the replay because we're posting these on YouTube as well. So if you're catching this on YouTube, you can either follow the YouTube channel that you're looking at right now, which is mine, or you can go over to Facebook and follow Free Spirit Talks there. So.
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.